Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm making a new video today because I came up with a couple different things that I wanted to talk about. We'll start with something more along the lines of emotional, and then I'll get into health issues, partially due to testosterone. So this might be interesting for you guys to listen to if you are on or are thinking of getting on testosterone. Last but most certainly not least is the gym. Because I told you I was going to start going for like the last 4 videos, which is pretty sad. It's like 4 months, and I finally got in. So let's jump into the first topic. The first thing is I was looking at my girlfriend the other day, and I was sort of thinking in my own head about how different my emotional spectrum is after being on testosterone. You definitely do feel differently and view things differently from an emotional and mental point of view once you start testosterone. Now, I'm not saying you become a completely different person. The core values of, your personality, your characteristics, what you believe in, that sort of thing, those all stay. But there are some things that you can become a lot more desensitized to or a lot more sensitive to. I mainly just want to talk about one specific category in the emotional spectrum, and that would be love or relationships, and the way it's changed from pre-T to almost 11 months on T. I was always very emotional as a girl. I was very in tune with my feelings, more actually kind of overboard, oversensitive, got my feelings hurt easily, just that sort of thing. So once I started testosterone, I kind of have been keeping track of what's changed. More internal, because external, you guys can see that. You guys can physically watch me from my first video till now, the changes. You guys probably want to know more about what's going on in here or up here versus out here. So with the love topic, I really started digging deep to think about how did I view love before testosterone. And I can say I was obsessed with the idea of being in love. And as you have already known if you've been watching my videos, or if you haven't, this is your first time, I've been with the same girl for 4 years. I've only been on testosterone for 11 months. So she knew me before, and now she knows me after. I sat down, I started thinking about, alright, what's different from pre-T, after T? What has changed? Before T, I was really enamored with the idea of being in love, the romance, the passion, just the love aspect of it. Period, end of story. And then after testosterone, it's not that those things have changed, but it's that my mind has opened up to, there's a lot more to love than just the romance. And so, in the end, it got me thinking. I can definitely see how guys look insensitive or can be insensitive in a relationship, especially cisgender men, because they've never been on that side of the fence where they understand the way women think and feel. Based off of what I would perceive as hormones, considering all of these things change once a hormonal change happens. And then I started to break apart, what do I think and how do I view love after testosterone? Now there's still the romance. There's definitely still the love, the warm body, somebody there to, cuddle up to at night. But I can see why guys will have sex and not commit to a relationship if they are not interested in who you are. With Ari, I realized that I wasn't blinded by just the fact that I was in love with her. Now I started recognizing what I cared about in her as a person. What were the traits that I admired that were wife-like qualities in my eyes? What were the friendship traits? What were the benefits of having her there besides the romance? Obviously, when you're in a relationship, there's sex. Now that's a completely different subject. I'll probably get on that later, because that's another interesting one. But I really started to view her as a friend. It was like the bromance with a woman. It was somebody that I could trust, I could, believe in, that I could count on, and they could count on me. I could talk to her about everything. We were funny. Like, it was never a boring relationship. It never has been. Every time I'm with her, we're laughing about something. Like, there's entertainment value to it as well. So there came into play a lot more different aspects than just love, which really made me think that that's why a lot of girls will grab at any guy for a relationship. It doesn't matter who you are, if she's semi-physically attracted to you, and boom, there she goes. But a guy will have sex with girls because that's not, for them, it's less attached to romance. It has nothing to do with romance. For women, usually sex is an indication of, like, I'm opening up to you. This is, us bonding. For men, sex is a very different thing. But now I see why a guy, which was why they always tell women, wait, make him wait. If a guy is emotionally attracted to you, and then that sexual bond happens later, that's where love and marriage come into play. Generally. At least that's what I'm perceiving from the changes that I've experienced. That would be my take on love. Before T, mainly the big picture was just the romance, the love aspect. After testosterone, it dissects itself into all of these different categories. So I can see why some trans guys break up after they start testosterone. If they weren't as, friendship, loyalty, engaged in that relationship as they were just the romance aspect. It's like, it's a trifecta. You have to be sexually attracted to that person, unless you're a pansexual, usually. You have to be mentally attracted to that person. You have to get along on a cerebral level, and you have to be emotionally attracted to that person on more than one level. Love, etc. So, subject number dos. Yeah, health. Health issues. So this one is about my health. I found out that apparently I am pre-hypertension, which is basically the warning signs for high blood pressure. Now, high blood pressure does run in my family. So there was that. There was genetics on top of it. But being on testosterone, men statistically usually have higher heart attack rates and blood pressure. Being on testosterone alone can cause high blood pressure. If you're coming from a family that has high blood pressure and you are starting testosterone or you're on testosterone, make sure that you're getting your blood work done so they can keep an eye on that. What will help that a lot is eating well, stop eating crappy foods, and working out, exercising, a lot of cardio. So, I remember I've been telling you guys that I wanted to go get into the gym, and I haven't been, and I kept complaining and complaining. Well, finally I decided, nut up and do it. So I did. I started going to the gym. Shortly after we started going to the gym, I found out I was pre-hypertension. So that worked out perfectly. The other two topics, I said three, and there essentially are three, but there's one that's split, it's divided, and it's for the gym. There's one in how men view you differently as a male in the gym versus females. The funny part is I've noticed that in the gym, usually the insecure ones are women. They're feeling like, I'm too heavy, or look at all these skinny women here, or look at, this or that. But I'm the kind of person that observes everything, so it might be different in your gym, might be different in the next gym, but the two gyms that I've gone to, and that's Gold's and Crossroads, I've noticed women don't give a shit about anybody else in the gym. Every single woman, no matter how thin she is in there, they're all thinking the same thing. Who's looking at me? You never see, girls, pointing and laughing at another girl in the gym, because they look just as sweaty and just as gross as that heavier girl in the gym. This is the one time that I've seen men way more judgmental than women. Because, for whatever reason, you go into the gym, and I swear to God there's a divide between old men and really buff guys. You almost never see super skinny guys in there. At least I never do. And it's like, where the hell did they all come from? Because they had to have worked themselves up to that point, so where are the mid, range people Where are the skinny guys trying to get that big? Like, they will look at other guys like, the fuck is this skinny dude doing over here, you know, at the benches? And some of them are really cool. They're like, hey, let me show you how to do that, or did you need help? Did you need a spotter? Which is like 1 out of every 10. But the other guys just like, while they're lifting like 300 pounds more than you can, they just stare at you like, yeah, fuck you. So it's kind of funny because for me, personally, that's more motivation to just like work my ass off, because I'm like, look at these assholes. They had to push themselves to get there, and I'm going to have to push myself to get there. But I can't wait till I'm one of the guys that can be standing back there and be like, yeah, dick, now look at me, like I'm a fucking beast. But for some trans guys, especially I would say pre-T, it's probably really hard. But just keep pushing yourself, because I've seen, there's some FTMs pre-T that are way bigger than I am. And I've been on T for 11 months. So it's not that you can't do it, it's just how hard you're willing to work. Don't worry about what they're doing. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Put your headphones in if you have them. Zone out, whatever you need to do, and just work out. Push yourself. And subject number 2, within the gym subject, so kind of like a subcategory, if you will, is how my body feels differently after the gym versus pre-T. So the strange part was I would work out pretty hard pre-T, and I would leave feeling the same. Now, after T, especially pre-hypertension, I walk out of the gym and my body has this euphoric feeling. Physically, it feels fantastic after a workout. During a workout, not so much. It's a pain in the ass. You're just like running on the treadmill for half an hour. It's boring as shit. But after you push yourself, as soon as your body starts to relax from the workout, it feels really good. You know, maybe it really is testosterone making you feel like, oh, that was awesome when you walk out. Because now I realize when we walk out of the gym, me and my girlfriend, because we go together, we're gym partners, and she is just like, meh, you know, and sometimes she'll wake up the next day and be like, my butt's sore, or something like that, but she never walks out going like, God, I feel good after a workout. But my body feels awesome after a workout. So something to keep in mind when you guys are in the gym, to not feel so self-conscious. Just don't worry about it too much. Go do your workout, and a year later you'll thank yourself. Because it may be uncomfortable at the time when you first start working out and your body is nothing like how it wants to be. But either way, a year is going to pass by. So you're either going to be the gym, and then in a year you're going to have results that you want, or that year is going to pass by because you were too uncomfortable to go to the gym, and your body is going to look exactly the same, and you're going to hate the same things about yourself. So just push it all to the side and continue doing what you want for yourself. Well, I think that concludes the video for today, so if you have any questions, etc., you know what to do. Feel free to message me. Bye, YouTube.